A tragedy that no one could have predicted was taking place in the heart of the Arctic, where the icy winds howled like lost spirits, and the landscape was an endless expanse of frozen wilderness. It started when a young Inuit boy named Taku noticed something strange while looking out at the tundra near his family's camp. At first, he thought it was just another polar bear wandering the ice. But as he looked closer, his heart sank. The bear's pristine white fur was marred with horrifying crimson patches that moved alive, writhing like thousands of tiny barnacles clinged to its body. The boy alerted Arctic Wildlife Rescue, an elite team known for daring missions in the most hostile places on Earth. And within hours, a small plane, carrying 4 specialists in bright red winter gear, touched down on the expanse. The team included Dr. Elena Corin, a parasitologist with unrivaled determination. Lucas, a composed former military medic when they got close to the bear, which was now lying on its side close to the edge of a frozen lagoon. Inari, a skilled Inuit tracker who knew every inch of the Arctic. And Sarah, an animal behaviorist whose heart was as warm as the Arctic was cold, were struck by its predicament. Barnacle-like parasites covered a large portion of its body, forming hideous clusters that pulsed faintly, feeding on its blood and weakening it to the point of collapse. Beside the enormous bear stood a cub with bright eyes. "We don't have much time, so it's trying to rouse its mother by pushing her while terrified and confused." The team swiftly assembled their tools, put on blue gloves, and started carefully removing the parasites using specialized brushes and antiseptic solutions. Each movement was delicate because the bear's skin was raw and bleeding beneath the infestation. Sarah's eyes welled with tears as she saw the creature in agony, but she kept her hand steady. Dr. Corin's voice was heavy with urgency. "Mary, if we don't act now, she won't survive." Softly whispering to the cub to help it relax, "This isn't natural," Inari whispered, keeping his keen eyes on the horizon for any indications of danger. As the team worked, the bear LED out a low, mournful sound that echoed across the ice, a sound of pain, but also of trust and a plea for help. Dr. Cora nodded, saying, "I've never seen anything like them before. They might be a result of the warming waters. The melting ice is changing everything, even the ecosystems. These creatures are thriving where they would have survived before." The young cub remained near its mother, leaning its little paw against her as though to give her support. Hours went by, and the team's hands were numb from the cold, but they persisted in removing parasite after parasite, each one representing a small victory. Luke applied calming balms to the bear's wounds while Sarah spoke softly to the bear, reassuring it in a language that transcended words. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the last of the parasites were removed, and the bear, although weak, started to stir. Its massive head lifted slightly, and it looked at the team with grateful eyes. The cub let out a high-pitched cry and nuzzled against its mother in a gesture of love that warmed everyone in attendance. The team watched as the bear slowly rose to its feet, initially unsteady, but with the cub by its side, it started to walk each step stronger than the last. The sight filled the team with a sense of triumph, but also served as a sobering reminder of how fleeting life is in the Arctic. The team stood in silence as the weight of the situation settled over them. They knew their work was far from done, but for the time being, they had given a mother and her cub another chance, a glimmer of hope in a world that was changing quickly. The ice is melting and the balance is breaking. We saved one today, but how many more will need us tomorrow?